We're continuing our Shiurim on Otzrot Chaim. We are in the middle of Shaar Nekudim pereck base. So in the old editions, the Vav Amud base, and in the Matuk Midrash, it's Daf Kuf Tezai. But before we start in the text, it actually starts Vehine Etze Nekudos Hem. Before we actually start the text, we're going to do a little bit of a chazorah. And if anybody has any questions, b'vakasha. Now, what have we seen so far? We saw that in Ak, we saw there's an Ab, Sag, Mo'ben, right? That's his neshama. And that, because of that all, is going to come out, is going to create all the worlds. Now, in order to create a world, you need to make kelim. You need to make space, you need tzimtzumim. Why is that? Because this is memayit the all. Because for the tachtoni to mekabel any ore, you need a miyut of ore. If not, as we'll see later on, the kelim broke because it was just too strong. So all these processes that we see, tzimtzum and all these things, and kelim are filters. This memayit the ore. So we saw that the tani of Ak was mitzamtzum itself. Right? The tiferet split into three parts: pereck elyon, pereck emtsoy, and pereck tachton. So the pereck tachton of Ak, and the netzach hod yesod of Ak, all the ore that was there, not the kelim, the ore was there, moved up into the tiferet of Ak. Okay, that was the tzimtzum. What happened after that? Because of the overwhelming amount of ore that was there now, that created two things: the ore to come out from the Enaim, also the ore to come back down, because we know there was a palsa that was put there, and it was bokeh through the palsa. There's a third thing that happens as well, is that the ore, before it did all that, it went all the way up into Ak. It traveled all the way up into and made a zivug between the Ab and Sag. The aliyas of this ore went not only just into Tiferet, it traveled all the way up, and because of the overwhelming momentum of the ore, that created a zivug between the Ab of the Sag, the Ab of the Ab, and the Ab of the Sag. That created a zivug, which every time you have a zivug, you have new ore which is produced, or new bechinas. Tell in the machloikis whether you say Ma Ben was there before or Ma Ben wasn't there before. So if Ma Ben wasn't there before, then you created Ma Ben. And if Ma and Ben were there, according to those mefarshim, then you just created more, an additional bechinas to Ma Ben. That's why it's called Ma Chodesh or Ben Chodesh. B'kitzur, these two new ores, we're going to call Chodesh because that's what the Arizal called, was created because of this zivug, and then either came out from the Enaim, or they came back down, and they broke through the palsa, and they went down.
That's what they had, 3 ores or 2?
3. Well, three things happened.
It says only 2 ores now.
2 ores. Right. One that came down into the Pnimis of Ak, and one came out of the Enaim.
So what would we verdient by making a new zivug? It'll make more oil, it'll make it the whole one is trying to make tzimtzum. Here you're making more oil.
Right. Okay, that's a fair question. So according to those mefarshim, they learn it's not more ore, it's just a different bechina that we can understand. Well, what are you going to do with this new ore? This ore is going to be called the Ma Chodesh, the Ben Chodesh, and this is going to create the tikkun. This is the Melech HaShmini that's going to come out, and he's going to do a tikkun. So he needs verschiedene bechinas that he didn't have before, and in order to create this, and even if there's a new or chadash, right? There's for the tikkun, the tikkun. Right. So far, so good. Yeah. Now we're going to see as well, is that the ore, we did see already, that the ore comes out from the Enaim. Okay, I'm going to give you the names now. Now, what ore came out of the Enaim? We had what's called the Ben. The Ben. Now, the Ben split into the Pnimius of Ben and the Chitzonius of the Ben. The Chitzonius of the Ben came out from the Enaim, the Ak. And so did the Ben and the Ma and the Sag of the Sagda. right? Or let's call it the other way, the sag ma'uben the sag, also came out. So nearly all the sag came out except for the ab the sag. That already came out from the achav. Now the rest of that sag is going to come out from the inayim, including the chitzonis of the ben. Those two, let's call it sag and ben, come down.
What do you mean by the pnimis of ben?
Pnimis of ben. It's called the pnimis of ben. Sorry, I take that back. It's a chitzonis of the ben. It goes out. The pnimis of the ben, the more interior parts of the ben will stay inside and will go back down. And what else goes down? The ma. Both the chitzon and the pnimis of the ma go down. Okay? So the chitzonis of the ben and all of the sag, the remaining parts of the sag go out. Ab we don't speak about, it's too high. And the ma goes back down, so the pnimis and the chitzon, and also the pnimis of ben goes down. Now it's going to go out through the inayim, and through there's going to be a bikia of the ore, which is pnimius of ak, is going to come out through the goof and join it up. Join up together.
Another zivuk.
What?
So like another zivuk.
I haven't seen it put in that way, but you can maybe yeah. Right. It's on her skin anyways.
Let's try to put it together for you.
Yeah. How these Nekudim are. I haven't explained anything to you. I'm just telling you just the words in Hebrew, and then we're going to get into the Lomdus. So it comes out. Now it's interesting. Stam the Leshem gives names to these things as well. He says that we're talking about the Malachim. The Malachim, the end of Parshas Vayishlach. So these are the Malachim Shenishbu. He calls them the Malachim of the Igulim. Remember the beginning of the first Shaar, the Shaar Igulim Yosha, and the Malachim that come out from the Guf are the Malachim Yosha. So he's, I think, the only one I've seen say this. So they're going to join up and they're going to work together to create the Kelim and world of Atzilus. So just to remember what they're doing in the company, they're not stopping joining together. Right. Okay. So what else is there to talk about? So both ores came out and they joined up and they made a new ore. Now let's talk about a little bit of the Lomdus here. What exactly is going on here? What's the tafkid of all this and how does it work? So first of all, the Arizal tells us that the Tzimtzum. He said there was a line earlier on in the Rav. He says Gam Tavin Ki Kol Bechinas Hotzos or Chadoshim. Anything you want to make new, anything you want to make chadish, Hay Kodem Lahem Inin Tzimtzum. You need a Tzimtzum. What's Tzimtzum have to do with the chadish? Any ideas? No, what's it Tata? So the vote's like this: that Tzimtzum, you have to know, and the Rashash says it's called. That Tzimtzum means Aliyas Man. If you don't know what Aliyas Man, I'll tell you. Aliyas Man is this ore which is going up. Right? The Rav said it's a Tzimtzum. He's mitzamtzem himself. All the tani of Ak is mitzamtzem himself, goes above the tibur. That in essence is an Aliyas Man. And this is mostly pronounced in the Kavonas. We always make an Aliyas Man in order to get Shefa. You always have to make a bakasha. You daven, all the davening, by the way, sleeping as well. When you're sleeping and the Neshama goes up, that's an Aliyas Man. When you come back, it's Panim Chodoshes. Anytime you want something new, you always have to have it. Seems like you have to vacate your kelim. You have to vacate that and vacate the kelim in order for it to go up, and that's golem a zivug. That's golem a zivug. Now, why should that be? Why should it be golem a zivug? And why should you vacate the kelim? What's have to do one or the other? It seems so. Let's try to put all these ideas together. So, the Poshup is like this: is that what the whole tavkid of Liyas Man, or call it simso, vacating, is in order to get something new. Or chadoshos, that's the lotion here. Ki kol bechinas or hotzos or chadoshim, who kol delehem inyan tzimtzum. You need a tzimtzum. So both like this. If you want to get something new, you have to make place for it. No. If there's no mokum there, it's important. You can get something new, but you won't have where to put it. So that's the vote of tzimtzum. You have to mitzamtzim yourself, mitzamtzim zau, whatever the Indian is. make a mokum reik, and therefore then the aliyas man will, it's a hobahol, right? The tzimtzum will be the aliyas man, and that's going to be goem a zivug, and then the shefa will have where to go. Right?
It's to create a keli, that was saying.
Tzimtzum is to create the kelim, but what do you need a kelim for? What do you need a kelim for? So I'm saying that it's all tied up in the fact that you're getting shefa in order to, you need a kelim which is empty in order to receive the shefa. Now how does it work that it's gorem as a zivug? It's gorem as zivug. What's happening here? You do a tzimtzum, that's Elias man, the gorem as zivug, but how's it work? What's the mechanics there? So the vault is that it's any bakosha. Anytime you ask for something, you get a reply, right? So you have to have some connection with the mekoymes elyonim. And the way it's done is that either tefillah, Torah, mitzvah, ma'asim tovim, you send up like a koil, a bakasha, and that bakasha goes up. And these are these bechinas that go up, and that's misorer the rachamim milemala, and that makes them to mizabik. So what does zivug have to do with them? There could be still a response milimala. What does it have to do with zivug? Because any bekosha lemala, it followed the tikkun. You need a tikkun to come down. If you ask him something, it means you're missing something, right? It means you're choseh tikkun. You're not sholem. So you make a bekosha in order to get the hashlam of what you're missing. In order to get a hashlam of you missing, the rule is you always have to get both ma uben. Ma uben, meaning you always need a shtickle tzad ducha and a little tzad nukva as well. We'll see later on, the Arizal says it's mefurish in order to misaken all of Atzilus. Atzilus broke, it was shattered, it created the bria, see all the spheres, it was tohu vavohu. Brings a possible, but it tohu vavohu. In order to misaken zokta, you need ma uben to come into misaken it. You need both bechinas of ducha and nukva, the shikul between them, because he's kula rachamim, or tzad ducha is kula rachamim. She is kula dinim. You need a shikul of both, right? Shikul rachamim, that makes it. Therefore, when you're making a zivug, Elias man goes all the way up there, and you need your choseh tikkun. In order to get the tikkun is only derech abba ve'ima. It's only there ducha v'nukva, right? Therefore, they need a zivug. You need emtso. You need the das. You need a little bit of him, a little bit of her. That's why they come to mizabek and give you exactly what you need, right?
So how does it play? How does it work? By making bakosha.
That's mitzvah rachamim. Right, that's more. You're making every time you talk to somebody, you just automatically a person responds. You in a person a response that triggers off a response, a connection. You're connecting on high, and that obviously then makes them that they have to respond in the correct way, and the way they respond is in the correct way is to make a zivug and give you exactly what you need.
So the better the bakosha, the more pure the bakosha is, the better the zivug would be, or something like that.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying that, but that's the process, anyways, right? Because again, you need something which is mitzukin, and the only way to get done as a mitzukin is a little bit of abba, a little bit of ima. That's why they have the mizabik, and then they give you a mamish something, a mizug, which exactly fits your needs, and that's given to you. That's the inyan of aliyas man. That's the inyan of tzimtzum. That's the inyan of zivug. And that's the whole process. And that's basically all Kabbalah in a nutshell. That's all we do. All the Torah mitzvahs and ma'asim Torah, everything that we do, limud the Torah, every mitzvah that we do is all aliyas man and yiridis mad. It's called yiridis mad. Okay, that's the inyan. So is that clear? All the process here. So that's exactly what happened in Ak. Ak vacated his keli, went up. Then that created the zivug. Now you can understand why it created the zivug. Then the tikkun had to be ma'u ben, has to be from the ma just means the right hand side, ben means the left hand side. The Ma Ben came together, or Abba V'Ima came together, and there gave a shefa which had the right mizug of tikkun in it. It went back down, the O and 9 came out, and then the tikkun O broke through the body of Ak and joined up with the O and 9 that came out from the eyes, and that created the tikkun over there. Right, can we move on? Yes? Now, the other thing that we saw is that as the old Anayim was coming out, right, which is the Chitzonis of Ben, and the Sag Ma'u Ben, the Sag, was coming out from the Anayim De'ak, it came in front of the Achav all. Right, there's Achav, all the oil that came out, there was 9 came out that Shibboleth to Zaken. The Choitim came to where? To the Chazir. The pereck came all the way down to the Tibor. So as it was coming out, it turned around, looked into the Achav, Istaklus, and it says the Rav, there was a She'iva, and drew from there Koiches, which created the Kelim, and then they went back, they went weiter down Mitibur Ulemata. Mitibur Ulemata. That's where all the worlds are going to be built. Mitibur Ulemata, on the outside of Ak Ulemata. Now what's the Indian over there? What is this She'iva, Istaklus? Well, what's the Indian? So the Leshem explains is that it's more of a Yenika, She'iva Yenika. The all which is coming out again is only Nekudos, tiny Nekudos. They're premature spheres. And we're going to have to build them up slowly but surely into big, huge Patzufim. Ket is going to become Atik of 10 spheres. Chochmah is going to become Abba with 10 spheres. Imas, Bina with 10 spheres. So right now they're tiny Nekudas. And they need to form their Kelim. We're nurturing them. And the way they're being nurtured is that by the fact they're coming out, they're soaking up, being yonik. Like as a child is yonik from the Ima. Yonik, various bechinas of the Acha'ol in order to formulate their Kelim. Or to formulate the Kelim. That's going to give them koach to formulate the Kelim. Frek the Leshem doesn't make sense. Because how usually we know that a higher bechina always gives a higher type of oil. Or makif, or panimi, or something like that. What's pshat? The high bechina is giving the lowest type of oil, which is kelim, to a lower bechina. Right? The nekudas is a lower bechina than the achav has come from ab, sagda ab, right? And this is coming from coming from the sagda sag. It's a much lower oil. So here's the ab the sag, and here's the sagda sag. What would you expect the sag the sag giving over to the ab the sag giving over to the sag the sag? A very high type of oil. An oil which would create maybe their neshama, but not their kelim. Doesn't make sense that such a high oil should be creating their kelim. So he says if meduik tak in the loshon, he says over here is letzorach hakelim. Letzorach hakelim. The hind like this. It's a beautiful shot. He says that when the Or Naim came out, they were Kuledinim, the Ben Be'etzim, the Chitzonis of Ben, which is the lowest of all the Ab Sag Ma'u Ben. It's the lowest. It's the most din part of the Or. And through that came out Take Nekudas with Take were not formed. They were not formed whatsoever. They came out Nekudas, but they were completely fragmented. Kulodinim. And the tafkid of the all, of the she'iva, from the all, right, the coming out, and the being shower from the achav, was that achav was going to come and to misakin that all, and to formulate the kelim. Is anybody with me? No, I gotta repeat. The Ben came out, the chitzonis of the Ben. Now, chitzonis of the Ben are stark dinim, right? Because you have ab, sag, ma, uben. The Ben came out. Now, in the Ben you have or and you have kelim. Now, the kelim shabo weren't formulated yet. He calls them fragmented kelim. Kulo dinim, fragmented. They didn't solidify yet into become kelim. So what they need to do, they need to be shown from a higher source in order to sort of give the makah patish of the kelim. And that would formulate the kelim. Right? Now, the kasha was, how can a higher or of achav make the kelim or give them kelim to a lower or? A higher bechina always gives the neshama to the lower. It doesn't give the lowest bechina. Teretz says it never gave the kelim. It just did a hamtoka on the Or Din. And that hamtoka Or Din formulated, I'll give the Makah Patish to make the kelim. Alright, so that's the in and of the Yetzir of the Or Naim, which was the Chitzonis of the Ben and the Sagma of Ben, the Sag. They came out and there was Shoev. That means there was a Yinika which made the Gma Keli of this Or Ben which came out. And then when you see them, they're going to float down, all the way down into the, past the Tibor, where they're going to be situated. That's the world of Atzilus over there.
So but what's it doing? It's mashpeh on it. It's mistakel on the other oil.
No, it's the opposite way around. That the Or Enayim is mistakel on the Or Achav,
and it's shoev from
and it's shoev and yonik in order to make the bechinas of the kelim. Now, the bechinas of the kelim also.
How's it got the koyach even without this? The kelim may be answered, but the Maisa, how's it got koyach to be shoev? It's too strong. It's too strong oil for it.
No, what's coming out is less Or. The ben's coming out. It's being shoev
Yes.
from the sag.
Right. So it's too.
Every child is not as strong as the mother, but Afapikene has a koach yonika, right? So it's yonik from the higher Or. Now, what else will help to formulate the kelim of this chitzonis of Ben is going to be this Or that we say is bokeah. The panemius of the Ben, which is coming out from the gufa ak, also is going to help create. That's the whole tafkid of this Or coming bokeah from the gufa ak to formulate the kelim of this nekudah that's coming out. Right? So the she'iva of the achav and also the bikir of the ben and pinimi, which is coming out, is going to formulate these es nekudos. Now, these es nekudos are split into two main categories: the gar and the vak, keter chochma bina, and then the zayin tachtonim. Now, the way it goes is that the kachab is shoev from shvulat zakin. When they come out from the Enayim, the Ak, the Kachav, the three, are going to be shoev from over here. They're going to be looking, turning around, mistakel, and being shoev only from the Shvulat Zakin. What do we find in the Shvulat Zakin? Remember? We have the Oz, Naim again, to Shvulat Zakin. The Choitim to the Chazer. The Pen to the Tibur. So the Shvulat Zakin is the Mokim where it's the joining of all three bets. Right? Because you have the Oizin, you also have the Choitim, and also the Peh also goes past that Mokum. So Be'etzim, they all really join here. Except the Oizin, the Choitim go a bit further, and the Peh go a bit further. But if you show it from the Zokin, you're pretty safe, you're going to catch all the Oilers. The Choitim, from the Oizin, Choitim, the Peh. So they had the Sechia to be Zoiche, to be also drawing Shefa from those 9, which is the highest of the all, right? Right? It's what is it again? It's the ab, the sag. It was the sag, the ab. It's the ab, the sag, and this is the highest bechina of the ab, the sag. Now, that is only by the kachab. Mashenk and the zayin tachtoinim, they weren't zoiche to that. They only show from a lower, from mishvot zokin there. Right? Therefore, they only got all of the choitim and the pit. Right? Manaf kamina. The shvira. The whole reason why the shvira happened, we'll see in a minute, is that why the zayin tachtonim broke, because they didn't have enough of shriva. They weren't zoiche to be shoyim from the oznayim. Right? And finally, there is enough kamina between even the kachab. We'll see be'etzim that the keser was yonik a bit higher than the chokhmah bina, and therefore we'll see the keser, less of it broke, a little bit of it broke. The nai the achorayim, and abba v'im, which is chokhmah bina, just the achorayim broke. The kids will see different
Why did
daadas.
they break at all? I don't understand.
Sorry?
Why did the kacha break at all?
Because they weren't sure of actually from the mokum. Right? If they were sure of mamish from those naim, that's gewaltig. That we got all the bechinas there. But since they were sure a bit further on, the Yitzir was further away from the core. Therefore, they didn't get the full thrust of those naim. So the nai are the chayim of keser broke. The chokhmah bina, which were a bit lower, they were show a bit less, and therefore the whole entire achorayim broke.
The whole reason why we didn't take it from those 9 because it's too much oil. Especially made it go round
On the outside.
on the
as well.
outside, yeah. and
No, we didn't say
then
that's not the
straight
reason why they didn't take from the ore. The reason why was that it was to memorize the ore for the tachtonim. For the tachtonim
The complete Shiur, machine guns.
What?
The complete Shiur.
Yeah.
When you say tachtonim, which tachtonim are you referring to?
No, the oilams after the bli, it's see all this tachtonim. Yeah. We're still very high up.
Right. And the is also for tzarech for here as well, because there's a reason why the nahi of the acharim of Kesser is broken. There's a reason for it.
Because they weren't sure from a higher mokum.
Yeah, it's the other way around. Hashem wanted it to be like that, so he made sure it was show from the lower mokum in order.
Okay, so
I'm just saying that it's got more than one purpose, not just for tachton, even for Kesser and the kachab itself. There's a reason why the or came on the outside. Yeah. Looking backwards, if you see what I mean.
Yeah. Okay, so that was B'tor's Chazor and Shtikla Hagdama. If there are any questions?
What were you referring to about the ben before? About the...
We said at the beginning of the Shiur that the ben split. There's a chitzonis of the ben and the penimis of the ben.
You talk about ben
in Ak, there's Ab Sag Mo Ben.
Right.
There's a tzimtzum
Right.
that all the ore which is in the mitibu lemata went up. It
Right.
went up. Right?
Right.
What was there? We know there was the Sag Ma Ben, the Sag, and the entirety of Ben and the entirety of Ma was there.
Which part of Sag was there?
The Sag Ma Ben, the Sag. Only the Ab and the Sag. I'll show you if you want. I have a picture over here.
The O of their 9, right, as well.
This is the Ab the Sag, which was above the Tibo.
It's the Achaf O.
The Achavor came out from over here, that's right. And everything else, that's the Ben and the Ma and the Sag Ma Ben, Ab Sag, all were here. And even the lower parts of Ab were here, they all went up. They all went up. So what came out of the Yinaim, I was just telling them, it was
Did you just say the lower parts of Ab were there as well?
Yeah, the Ma Ben, the Ab, which are...
Oh, because they go all the way through from the top down.
Yeah.
Right.
Even though the Rav doesn't say that, but technically it goes all the way down.
Right.
And we said with all the way up, some went out of the Yinaim, some was bouquet, went back down. Actually, some will see comes out of the forehead, and some of it came out of the goof of the Ak. So what we're saying is that the Or Naim was made out of the chitzonius of the Ben. And also the Sag Mo Ben of Sag also came out.
That's the lowest part.
That's right. That's right. So the Penimius of Ben went back in and then came out from the goof in order to misaken the...
So that's travelled the most then. It's gone all the way down to bottom, then all the way back up to the Inaim, but then it came out the Inaim?
Yeah, everything went up. Well, the Penimius went up and then came back down, then it went out. The Chitzon actually did less travel, went out and this way. This one went up, down, and down. So that's something. Right, okay, so...
Yeah,
it's good?
Yeah.
You understand the Mahalach?
Yeah, I understand how this when it was mistaken from the lower beginners of Sag. Yeah, the Sag that.
Then so what the staklus?
The staklus from the lower beginners of Sag, and there was it was mistaken that the I can't remember the cheshbon again.
That the O which is the chitzonus of Ben came out, and also the Sag Mo Ben, the Sag came out, and there was Shoev from the Achav, Ozen Choten Peh, and that created the Kelim. And we asked, how could it be created? The Kelim, a high Bechina, which is called the Ab the Sag, that's the Achav, cannot give Kelim, he gives Neshamas. Teretz says that it was only there as a hamtoka to the old dinim, because Ben is, the lower you go, is more dinim. So therefore, the hamtoka on the oros that came out, and that was enabled them to formulate their own kelim. Because if there's too much dinim create kelim. But if there's too much dinim, too much fire, it just burns itself out. So what you do, you put a little bit of hamtoka there, and it helps the fire burn. And that, in kelim wise, that created the kelim. That formula helped to formulate the kelim, in order that they shouldn't destroy themselves.
And then why can't you say that this it's only yonik that which it needs? It doesn't work. Yeah, but I'm saying that's only in a. If it be too high oil, you can't. It just doesn't. It's not yonik at all.
Like I said, a child is no comparison to parents, but a child is able to be yonik what it needs. The exact same thing over here.
Yes, why do you have to come to this vow of Hamtaka, Poshet, that if only took Kalim only take what they
that means Hamtaka. That's how well. That's when you need something, you take it like what's going to make the correct mizur.
Is that to help? So the Kalim are not actually made from the Oris of the Achaf with the Erev Nine together.
No.
So what are
Lashon is Medaik says Litzorach HaKelim.
So where are the Kalim made from then? Is that just from the other two Oris we spoke about?
Yeah.
The Oris of the Naim and the one from the Parsa.
Yeah, but again, so it's working through the idea of Tzimtzum.
Right.
The more it's Tzimtzum, and you see the Mahalach, it goes up and down, the more it travels, the more it gets Mitzgashem. The further it gets from the Makor, it's got more and more Gashem that creates the Kelim.
Right. Right. So what would have happened without the Oris of the Achaf? Would you have got Kalim but Shavurim Nagamri?
Yeah, they wouldn't have been. There would be no kiyum to such a thing.
So you're saying, is this Or from the Achaf? It's sort of like you say, it's being multic them to let them exist. So
yeah.
Is that another way of saying it's giving chiyus to the Kalim?
It's giving chiyus to the Kalim.
Is that something else?
That lotion of chiyus to the Kalim actually does come up. That lotion of chiyus to the Kalim come up, and we will see it soon. Has
it got anything to do with the Rapach and Tzotzus?
Yeah.
It does?
Yeah. Okay, well that's what we're dealing about, yeah.
What was the first Lashon you quoted before every oil?
That's earlier on in the pereck, in the beginning of pereck base. Gam Tavin, it's on Daf Vav Amud Aleph. Mamish at the beginning, come out. Kol bechinas oiros hotzos or chadoshim hayakodom lehem inim tzimtzum. And we said tzimtzum is aliyas man, which is going which goes the haloda with the zivug and so on and so forth. That's klop. Yeah. So let's go back to we left off v'hine on Daf Vav Amud Beis. V'hine 10 nekudos hem. There are 10 nekudos. ושלוש הנקודות ראשונים שבהם הם לוקחים אור ממה שנמשך מהסתכלוס העין באוזן חויטן בפה. We'll see that the first three, like I said, we're splitting the gal from the vak, they look, there's הסתכלוס on their part, they look at the אוזן חויטן בפה ממקומם עד מוקום התחברוסם בשבולות הזקן. ואינם מקבלים מויסם רק בשבולות הזקן. We have to remember that they only מקבל until from the שבולות הזקן, which is the chin. כי משם מתחילים הם. That's where they start. Well, they start from the nine, but this is where they get the koach from. Nothing from above. That would be too great for them. That's what you were saying before, right? They can't be soaking the shore. If anything above the shore, that would be much too powerful. Only mishput al-zaken. Now, aval השבע נקודות האחרונות אין לוקחוס רק ממה שנמשך מהסתכלות באורץ חותם פה. They only got from the two different orders. חותם פה. המשמעות הזקן ולמטה כנודע. כי החותם מגיע עד החזה והפה עד הטיבור. Yeah, that's what I explained to you outside. ויצא. ונמצא. כפי זה. כי שלוש נקודות ראשונות לוקחות האורה לצורך הכלים שלהם. The top three, which is כתר חוכמה בינה, they are שואב from the אחר לצורך הכלים שלהם. That's very important diuk over there. Again, it's not actually making the kelim, it's only לצורך התפקיד tachlis or the tafkid of the kelim. It's formulating the kelim, but it's not actually creating the kelim. Mina shlosha oros shehem achab b'shvot hazaken, because when the kachav are coming out, they show it from the chotem peh and the oznai chotem peh in order to make the kelim. אבל השבט התחתון זה אינו לא כל רק מן השני אורז לבד שהם חותם פה. המשמעות הזו למטה, often he repeats himself. כי האוזן העליונה כבר נגמרה ונסתיימה בשבועות הזוקים. ולכן גדולה היא הערה שלוש הנקודות העליונות מן השבע התחתון. Therefore comes out that the Keter Chochmah Bina which are coming out are going to have a head start, or going to be a better or stronger kelim than the Zayin Tachtonim, because the Zayin Tachton only received from the Chotem and the Peh. Ma she'en ken Keter Chochmah received also from those nine. ולסיבה זו, שלושת המלוכים הראשונים לא מייסו, לפי שיש להם הרוע הגדול והכלים מעולים מאוד, לפי שנעשם בבחינת האוזן העליונה, because they received from the אוזן, ובבחינת חותם ופה, and כל שכן חותם ופה. כי הסתכלו זניים באוזן אוזן, נעשו הכלים שלהם, נעשו זה שתיקלו שבי לצורך הכלים, כי נזכר, כי לא קרו כליהם ממוקם שעדיין אורד אוזן להם, שהם בחינת נשמה נמשכה שם, שהוא עד שבולת הזקן, because the Keter Chochmah Bina got their kelim, לצורך הכלים, from those higher bechinas, even from those nayim. אומנם השבע מלוכים תחתים מייסו, why? לפי שכלים נעשו מסתכלות העין בחויתם בפה לבד. The Zayin Tachtonim, which we call the Zad, were not zoichet to get from the oizen, that's why they broke. והחוזר מהם או אויזן עליונם, הטעם שכבר נשלם או האוזן שהוא בשבועות הזקן, והם לא קראו למטה ולכן נשבור. Since they only receive, again, מכאן ולהבא, from בשבועות הזקן downwards, where the Oznaim already finished the ashpah, that's why they only receive from the Chotem Peh. והנה, גם שלוש הראשונות בעצמם יש להם חילוק בין זו לזו. והוא, even within the three, like explained to you in the Kabbalah, there is a difference between the Keter and the Chochmah Bina. כי מכסר לא יורד ממנו אפילו האחוריים. והאחוריים לכסר were מקויים, אלא האחוריים שלהם נאי בלבד. There was an effect. What happened was that the nai, just a little bit of the achorayim of Keser broke. אבל באבא ואמא של הנקודות יורדו האחוריים שלהם בלבד ונשארו הפנים במקומם. Right? We know there's a panim and ach to every sphere, so their ganze achorayim fell, but the panim were mekuyim.
Journey from a higher place in the.
That's right. They got from a shtikla more from those nine than the Zayin. Yeah, Zayin Tachton didn't receive anything. Even the panim of the Zayin Tachton broke. V'atamadav ki elu orot shemamshichim shenimshochim al shvolot hazokim nichlok lishlosha. Because we know that it's split into three. Ki hakesel ke'ar b'chinas oizen atzmo. Keser came out and was showe from the O, even of the Ozen, the Mashiriya Shoevetz Bistaklos O Ozen. The fact that it was the Shoev and the Riya, the Lesson explains that also there was in Arvus, there was an Iruv of O together with them. V'hine mimenu nase keli el keser the Nekudim. That formed the keli, the keli of keser of Nekudim. ומכל שכן נכלולים בו שני עוז האחרים, ואבא לוקח מאור חותם ואמא מאור הפה. Not mamish meduik, because the Mepharshim take clearly that this is all klapi keser. Keser, we got keser, we receive such a high of oize, it's as if Abba v'Ima didn't receive anything, but they actually did. They actually did. Mepharshim say, gam lokach me'or oizen. Ima also got gam lakach ma'oizen orot and orot ha'oizen v'achoitim. Now I know that the Keser took a re'ir dika she'iva from the oizen, but Abba v'Ima they receive what's called the ha'ora. So that's why he's not mentioning that the fact they took a Re'iyah, but about they took some Ha'orah. If not, they would have broken. There would have been no difference between the Zayin Tachtonim and them as well. והנה, כסף שלא קוראים מן האויזן, האור הגדולה, אור הגדולה, לא נשבור הכלי שלו. Again, he's just repeating himself. אבל אבא ואמא שאין לוקם רק בחויתם פה, נשבור החוריים של הכלים שלהם. Again, the Mepharshim say about that he took from the oizen as well. But he took it from a further area. It wasn't a ha'or gedola as kesed.
So are we saying it took the oil of the oizen level with the choitim and peh? Is that further down from the oil?
Well, we know that they received all mitachat the shpulat hazokin. And we know that the all oizen only went up to the shpulat hazokin. But that's not for the all shabbat. But there's another chelik called the ha'ora. It's like the sun, and then you have the rays of the sun. So the rays were mispashted later on, which they were able to be short from that.
Oh.
But they didn't get a ha'ora gedola, they get a ha'ora.
But the Zayin Tachtonim...
They didn't even get that.
They didn't even get that.
They didn't even get that. They didn't get nothing whatsoever from the Uznaim.
So what's the chiluk between Chochmah and Bina then?
There is a shikha because they're not Shabbat b'Shabbat. So one got a bit more. האוזן שמונה מזוקה, ואם לקח מהפה וגם לקח האור את האוזן והחויתם שלו, just go from a further mokum, ריחוק mokum.
Where is that?
We'll see. We're going to speak about it.
Much more is lost that because Abba got from Ura Chaitim and Imma got Ura.
Yeah, I'm saying it's
I'm saying even, I agree that they have to say got from Oizen as well, but it's much more that's from there.
Yeah, but the straight reading, that's what you would see. Yeah. But that's you can't learn like that because he said Kla early on. Shenims because of the difference between the shloishla. Yeah, the shloishla in the Nekudim says Lo Kla Ora L'Tzorah Kelim Shalahem Min HaShlosha Oret Shehem Achav. So before, just a line before that he received from Oizen Chotim Peh. V'Shvul Tzokim Dafka. Aber Hashem Tachton Ein Lokim Rak Mishnei Oires. The Zayin only took two. They took all three. He says it's over here. So you see the difference between the Or and the Ha'ora. והנה, אם היו אבא ואמא מקבלים האור הזה, שלא חויתם מפה בהיותו למעלה קרוב אל מוקם נקווה אויזן. That if they were מקבל the אור הזה, של חויתם מפה, and you have to add in also אויזן as well, because it's going קרוב למוקם נקווה אויזן. So of course it wouldn't מקבל from the אויזן. אף על פי שלא היו מקבלים אורות האויזן עצמו רק קצת האורה, the difference between O and Ha'ora, היו מתקיים ממאחוריים של כליהם. They would be yoinik from even the Ha'ora of the oizen, a higher bechina than what they got, then even the Achorayim would not get. אבל כיוון שאין מקבלים רק מסיום האויזן, שהוא מוקם שפוט הזוקן, לכן אף על פי שלא קריא קצת האורה, it says מפורש, right? Even though he took קצת האורה from the oizen, אינו מועיל להם, לכן נשברו אחוריים של כליהם. If we're already receiving from the Oznaim, of course we're going to be receiving from the Chodim Peh.
Why did they say Eino Moilahem?
Didn't help for the Achorayim. It helped for the Panim though.
Right.
אבל הכסף, כיוון שלא קרא אויזן ממש, אף על פי שלא קרא מסיומו, even though Taki got from the end of it was שפולות הזוקן, כיוון שהוא לוקח בעצמוסו די בזה ולא נשבר אפילו אחוריים של כלי שלו, מה שאין כן באבא ואמא שאינו לוקחים רק האורה בעלמא, וגם הוא בריחוק מוקם. והרי נסבר שלוש בחינות הם. כי הכסף נזקיים כולו, ואבא ואמא נשברו נופלו האחוריים שלהם, וזו נופלו נשברו הפנים והאחוריים שלהם. והנה, זו הטעם שנרמז בפסוק בארץ היית תוהו ובוהו. שתית מן הפסוק בראשית, תקי was תוהו ובוהו, אשר הוא מדבר בעניין מיסס מלוכים של נקודס כנזכר לעש. That's a posting בראשית, next time you're reading, you have to mechaven, that we're only talking about the Zayin Malochim and how they broke. ונרמז בו שתי פעמים מילס תוהו. Did you realize that? That שתית מן הפסוק two times תוהו. אחת מפורש בפסוק, והשנייה בראש התיבוס למפרע והארץ, הייסה Tov. For the first letter of each word, haaretz is vav. Hey is haisa. Tov, tov is tov. Who connected shtei bechinas niska? Ki tov hayasha mufurash b'kosov. Right? That's the tov. That's the Zayin Malachim. והוא בחינת של מלאכים שמייסו ונתבטלו אפילו בפן שלהם. ותוהו בראש התיבת למפרע הוא בחינת ביטול אחוריים של האבא ואמא, כי כל בחינת למפרע הוא בחינת אחוריים. So what we see from the Pasuk is Meram is side the Misa, the Malachim, and side the Achorayim, which is Merum is in the Achorayim of the letters of the Achorayim, the letters of the Torah Sheni. Okay, with that we'll stop here. So the Shem, so we'll continue. What time is it now? Maybe we just go back to. Okay, let's finish off the page. Yeah. Okay, let's finish off the page. Vadayu ki gam nekudos. Yesh b'chinas all maki for all panim. Right? We mentioned this before in the earliest Shiurim that you split up the kelim and the all in two parts. The kelim you split into all maki for all panim, and the kelim you split into all keli chitzon and keli panimi. So when we talk about all, you have to realize there's all panimi and there's all maki. V'inyanam hu ki hine nizbar ki mishlosha orotz ha'achav shorev mehem Histaklus ha'ayim letzorech hanekudim. V'zu b'chinas or hashlishi keniska le'el shebi'arnu shuhu letzorech kelim shel hanekudim. Remember, there was three ors. One came out from the nine, one came out from the goof, and one came out from the fact that there was shoev from the histaklus, a third nine. They were matik with the din. Now this is also going to split into two other categories called makif and panimi. V'tzor sheteda ki all ze nichlek l'shnayim. ומה שלוקח מצד ימין הוא אורד ממש. ומה שלוקח מצד שמאל הם כלים. So as you're coming out, pretend you're the or and nine coming out. You turn around, you look in the or achav. So the right side, the she'iva shabo is going to be or, and you're going to be sure of also bechinas of kelim. Right. ומה שלוקח מצד שמאל כלים. וכבר נסבר לאל כי אור באור יש בכנס פנימי או מקיף או בכלי יש בכנס פנימי או חיצון ונמצא כי כל אלו ארבע בכנס לוקח הסתכלוס העין בשלוש האורס אחר. So as the or, as he's going to speak out, as the Nekudim were looking, they were sure of two bechinas of or and two bechinas of keli. V'zu sidra ki hine when the Nekuds were looking back at the Acha, when they were looking at the Oizen, Keneged Istaklos Be'ayin Atzmo, Shuhu B'Shvot HaZaken. Remember the only show from the Shvot HaZaken. And yeah. Mitzad Yamin, when they were looking to the right side of that Ozen, Hu B'chinas Or Makiv. They were sure of an Or Makiv. ומה שהוא גם כן בצד ימין, אלא שהוא רחוק הוא מן הצדדים, הוא אור פנימי שהוא מועט. So directly in front of him, little to the right, is the or makiv. A little more to the right was the or of panimi.
To the right or further down?
Further to the right, yamin. וכן על הדרך זה בצד small, on the left hand side now of the vision, left side of the or is in, when the or the Nekuds were looking, Mashu keneged istaklus ha'ayin mamish chitzon etzekele. They will be sure will create the chitzon etzekele. Or Mashu at stodim, not limata. Stodim hu penimi hakele. They were sure of the penimis, what will create the penimis hakele. Now,
my arm's left. That's very left.
Left, yeah. Okay, so again, two because when they're looking to the right, it's or maki. When they look a bit left, it's or panimi. When they look to the left, immediate left, that's the or chitzon, and when they look a bit more left, is the panimis the keli. Okay, that's going to go the co-op to build up all those four bechinas.
So it's about Shabbat Hazaken.
All b'shvul hazaken, yeah. This is again only by the oizen. Now, when the mistakel of shilokiam ba'oz achoitem, when they look in the choitem, it's a bit different. Now we're going to go up and down. Hu be'ofen achem. כי משהו לוקח מאור חויתם קודם שיגיע אל הפה. קודם שיגיע אל הפה. That means the חויתם, right, it goes down to the pe and also goes down to the shbulot hazak and also goes down as far as here. So this section over here, from the choitem to the pe, there was his staklus over there. Now there's a right side of that and there's a left side to that. Okay? So we're going to go up and down now. So he says like this. אבל משהו לוקח מאורות החויתם שהוא באופן אחר, הוא באופן אחר. כי משהו לוקח מאור חויתם קודם שיגיע לפה. Who mitzad yamin on the right hand side? Who or makif? Umina pe v'lemata, again on the right hand side is all penimi. And on the left hand side, v'chein ader ze mitzad small, who are kelim. Right, that's from the choitim to the pe. And then from the pe to the shvul zakin, who b'chinas, sorry, v'chein ader ze mitzad small, who kelim. That means the penimi of the keli, the chitzon of the keli, sorry, is from the choitim to the pe. And from the pe to the shvul zakin would be the chitz, from the penimis of the keli. V'chein, ma shlokeach min ha-peh nichlak l'shnai. Also, when they're all the Nekudim are looking out, and they're looking at the peh and the shoev, the koach of what they need from the shoev, koach o, and koach ha-keli from the peh, it works the same way as they did for the choitim. כי מה שלוקח מן הפה עד שמגיע לשבולות הזוקן, from the pit to shvulot zaken over here, that's going to be the or penimi on the right hand side, or maki. וכן משבולות הזוקן ומן השבולות הדיקנה ולמטה until all the way down, right? Because it goes down to the tibor. That's going to be the or penimi. וכן הדר זה בצד שמאל, לעשות כלי פנימי וחיצה. That means when it looks from the pit to the shput zaken on the left hand side, it's going to create the chitzonis of the keli from the pit shabo. And then from shbolat zaken down to the tibor, when they look over there on the tzad against small, that's going to create the pinimi shabo. Did I get that right? From the choitim to the pit, create the chitzon shabo. And from the peh down to the shmut zaken, that's going to create on the left hand side the penimius all.
That's all the choitim.
That's all from the to the choitim. Yeah, that's all created from the peh. Okay, so that is just a part in the staklus and ayim of it. Okay, good. So Hashem, if there's no more questions, we're going to continue.
What about the peh?
That was the peh.
The peh doesn't go from the choitim to the
No, I'm sorry. Did I get that wrong? No, so from the pit to the shpul of the zaken. I didn't mention that. Did I? I'm sorry. Okay. That's the first. The choitim goes in two shlabim. From the choitim to the pit and to the shpul of the zaken. Right. On the right hand side and the two hand side. And then from the pit, show it from the pit to the shpul of the zaken to the tibor. Two on the right and two on the left.
Right.
The pnimis is higher than
the goes, the right side's until the tibor as well.
Yeah. First you get the chitz on the top part and the pinim on the bottom part.
It definitely goes to the tibor.
Yeah.
The right side of the or of the peh.
Yeah. Again, we're talking about the Zayin Tachtonim because the Kachav only show it from the Shbulot Zokin. They don't go further than that.
Maybe you can make some sort of tabla for this.
Yeah, I've got one at the back.
Yeah, I made one here. I didn't think. If you want that,
I'll ask someone say in the Torah it does not mention the three malachim that didn't die.
Mentioned 7 malachim didn't die.
Yeah, I've got it.
That's it. There's those 3 before.
Where's the rem?
Yeah,
where's the rem is for the
malachim? Yeah.
Well, either you died, or you didn't die. It's hard to show that only your backside died. I don't know. It'd be hard to find a rem.
I mean, there's no more. There's but in malachim doesn't say there was more any more malachim at all.
No.
Yeah, again,
there's only 8 malachim. So
again, how would you like I said, we were talking about flesh and blood there. You know, so either you died or you didn't die. How do you represent a melech that only his back died and not his panim died? It's not shattered. I think Rem is in the.
Your question is why aren't there more malachim and they got ill instead of dying or something?
Should be 10 malachim, you say?
10 malachim. The first one got a cold. The other 2 were going to sin.
Yeah,
there's no chayil yet. There's no chayil before Yaakov Avinu.
Oh,
it could be afterwards.
Over here it says that it's not. I've got a note here. Beis Lamed Yud.
Beis Lechem Yehuda.
So he says that when it says Lamata on the right side, it doesn't mean until the tibur.
Means to where?
It means until the sofa shiboiles. On the left it goes till the tibur. So he's put a chiluk there.
Why should that be?
Ask him.
It's strange. It's a shame. Why one side should go lower?
Even in the diagram at the back, it's got.
Tefillin says the thing, no?
Tefillin, yeah.
I think we've been halach with time to care. I think the right one's supposed to be connected to.
The right one's
Ben Shai says the right
one's longer.
You're supposed to put in your.
I said the left one's longer.
Ben Shai says you have to put it in your pocket here.
Yes.
and the other one you let hanging. That's
Right.
Okay, the right one's longer. It's far the right one.
Yeah.
The right one's on.
I don't know how they collapse. So that's shame. I mean, it's.
Say that. Okay, so we'll stop here. Go ahead.
Yeah.